Mr. Toastmaster, Mr. General Evaluator, Captain Janeway, fellow Toastmaster. This speech was designed to tell a touching story. This is from a storytelling advanced manual. The objectives were to understand the techniques that are available to arouse emotion and to become skilled in arousing emotions while telling a story. This was a story from Michael about his grandfather and about the relationship that he has to his grandfather who he really didn't know very well. The emotions that the speaker used to tell the story, which is to use descriptive words and phrases to evoke emotion. I think that your overall purpose of this speech was to link yourself to your grandfather's past and to find, by going back, and particularly on your trip to Quebec, to find your roots. I don't know that one of the things that this speech was supposed to entail was having characters and developing characters and showing different emotions and actually expressing those emotions through dialogue between obviously two characters. That part I didn't find in this speech. I thought that you did take us on a trip in this journey to your grandfather's past, but I don't think that particularly that we really understood a relationship between two characters here. The one thing that you were to do was to arouse emotions with us. And I think you had a very good start. When you came out and the very first thing that you said in your speech was about your grandfather and the sheep that had lambs and the shepherd that had puppies and then the shepherd killing the lambs. I thought, this is pretty deep and pretty dark, but it really was something that you developed a visceral emotion to that. But I think you could have developed that a little bit more. I don't know that you needed to get graphic about how the sheep looked, but then you had touched on the part where you went to Quebec and you went to the church where your grandparents were married, and you touched the stone of the church. I think you could have developed that perhaps a little bit further, because that was also another emotional link that people could really could relate to, could understand, that you're trying to form some sort of bond with a person that you didn't really know all that well. I thought your journey to understanding grandfather's past was related to who you feel that you had become, passing through the generations, the sort of things, principles, or the sort of emotion that that person generated to his child and then onward to you. The experiences in Quebec helped link you to your grandfather. I thought the fact you could have also developed one character more, was the waiter in the restaurant. I've seen that, where you go into some area and you walk into a store and you see somebody turn a certain way and you see some relative that you has passed on, just in the look of that person or the shape of their head or something along those lines. I think you could have perhaps developed that a little bit more. I did like the fact that you don't appreciate that people in the United States drive their cars and duck on cell phones. Drive nuts. The deep hidden emotions of a staid man was essentially the point of the speech, and I thought that you developed that to a reasonable degree, but you could perhaps just fill in the characters a little bit more, make the characters a little bit more lively, that we could really relate to a real person. But other than that, I thought it was a good speech, and I look forward to your next one. Thank you, Paul.